poor. But I want to ask you what the bank should endeavor to finance the poor people so that they are encouraged and they are financially solvent. You can also highlight such kind of programs taken by the banks. Thank you.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, the bank also, that provides some kind of programs and then can help the poor people. Since you know the bank's main motive is to profit maximization, so they also look for the corporate social responsibilities. There are some programs they use to do that, but still it should be like the bank should provide some of the programs only for the poor that there will be no benefits from them. It should be the part of their corporate responsibility. Yeah, I think it should be okay for them if they implement this kind of things. Otherwise, yeah, only government cannot do anything. That's true. So definitely, that's why I suggest that you have to come forward all.
Study. But so far, I guess cost factor should be most important in case of financial inclusion. So could it be added with the study?
Okay, so cost factor we use this one as yeah, it's a loan ratio and loan loss provision few things. Okay. But most of the studies which I in the literature they didn't actually consider this thing. But I will look at it. Let's see if I need to add, then I will. Of course, I will take it on.
Okay, thank you.
There was no more questions for no more time for question and answer stuff. But I have a very small question. Maybe we can talk later. How Malaysia government started the digital financial literacy campaign? Recently, the government started, and the Bangladesh Bank and other donors and private sector started. So we're moving ahead. But
They are bringing all together and ask them the bank to use this e-wallet system. So it's a QR pay, just pay, and they scan the QR and just pay. That's it. No need to pay the cash and all those things. If you even in recently, I found that when I pay the cash and they gave me the change, I got this PR note. So that's why if something is problem with this, so it's better if the bank can campaign these things, the financial literature by ask them to implement this e-wallet system that will be more effective.
Thank you very much, sir, with such amazing presentation. Now, may I request Councillor Abdul Jabbar, MSc, FCIS, MBE, Deputy Leader of Oldham Council, UK, to take his seat on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we are highly glad to announce that he is going to present the paper on digitalization on public service delivery, a comparative study between Oldham Council UK and Sylhet City Corporation in Bangladesh. May I request you, sir, to start your presentation. Thank you.
Respected Chair and Co-Chair, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum. I am delighted to be here today to make a presentation
on a comparative study on digitalization of public services involving Select City Corporation and Oldham Council in Greater Manchester. Today, we stand at the beginning of transformation that will fundamentally change our society and economy. Digitalization is delivering the fourth industrial revolution. It is the biggest transformation in the history of industry, and its power and speed will eclipse all that has gone before it. It is changing the way we manufacture, we communicate, learn, work, deliver public services, and do businesses. I want to take this opportunity to thank the National Academy for Planning and Development for having the vision to include digitalization of public services as part of this conference and give me an opportunity to tell you about how digitalization can transform public services. I just want to tell you the content of my presentation here this afternoon. I will talk very briefly about the project itself, then I'll talk about the current position both in Select and in Oldham, and then the opportunities there are for digitalization, the challenges faced by Select City Corporation, and conclusion, and I'll finish by taking some answers from the floor. So as mentioned, as part of the first international conference on planning and development under the theme of Bangladesh 2030, Opportunities and Challenges, this study was undertaken under the title of Digitization and Public Service Delivery. Local government is in the heart of delivering public services, and digital technology is playing a crucial part in the provision and cost effectiveness and accessibility of public services. Bangladesh has gone through a massive transformation, and there has been improvement in the local government sector. However, it is acknowledged that there are further scope for improvement. The United Kingdom has one of the most efficient local government service anywhere in the world. It has an international reputation for accountability, transparency, and effectiveness. Local authorities in the UK are at the cutting edge of finding innovative ways of delivering public services, especially using new digital technology. In order to assist with the improvement of public services through digitalization, a comparative study between the two local authority areas, namely Oldham Council and Select City Corporation, was chosen with the view of making recommendations for future development in Bangladesh. This slide shows the key services that's provided by the two local authority areas. And you can see there are lots of similarities, but also there are significant differences. For example, Select City Corporation provides water supplies and they're responsible for managing solid waste, whereas Oldham Council is not. On the other hand, Oldham Council is responsible for providing adult and social care, whereas Select City Corporation is not. And incidentally, 40% of the entire budget of Oldham Council is spent on looking after elderly people and children. That equates to £95 million per year. Also, Oldham Council is responsible for funding all schools, whereas in Select, that's not the case. There is a minor correction that needs to be made on this slide. At the bottom where it says reporting to central government, annual monitoring, the situation is that Oldham Council reports and also Select City Corporation. So when it says no, it should be yes. If I then move on to the next slide, this slide shows some key statistical information, and you'll see that Sylhet has 4 times more population than Oldham Council. However, Oldham budget is much bigger than Sylhet City Corporation. In terms of Bangladeshi taka, it equates to 6,380 crore taka, which is 8 times bigger than Sylhet City Corporation budget, which is at 789.38 crore taka. This actually equates to per capita proposed expenditure for this financial year of 2,910 taka in Oldham, and in Sylhet 8,137 taka. So the actual difference is 33 times. I just also want to talk about the revenue collection in both areas. So if you look in the slide, the 4th column there, 4th row, sorry, it actually talks about council tax. That's the same as holding tax here in Bangladesh. In Oldham, the collection rate, in-year collection rate is 95, compared to Sylhet 61, and business rate, which is the trade license fee, 98% in the UK, in Oldham, 42% in Sylhet. And one of the reasons for that is that in UK, in Oldham, we have a fully digitalized integrated payment system where people are able to pay anytime using a smartphone, online services, or even just by popping to a pay point using card. And that's the main difference. I'll come back to that in a minute. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was actually the current utilization of IT in both areas. This is a key finding of this study, and this slide shows the infrastructure and the uses of both organizations. So for Oldham, online services provided through its own website is the main channel for transactions with residents and businesses. Residents and businesses access a large amount of service through its website, completing application forms, reporting repairs, making complaints, making payments, sending correspondence, etc. Last financial year, the council had over 4 million transactions through its website. It has a very robust IT infrastructure with dedicated in-house staff of 60. Sylhet, on the other hand, has limited access through website, although they are desperately trying and they want to reach out to many people through their website. At this moment in time, their transaction with residents is less than 1,000, and they also have no member of staff. All their IT infrastructure is supported by an external consultant, which clearly has issues to do with capacity within the organization. And again, that in a minute. So swiftly to the opportunity, I think digitalization brings an opportunity for saving massively on the way that we deal with customers. And if I explanation of this slide, so I'm the deputy responsible for finance. I'm the cabinet member for finance in Oldham, and it's my job to find new and innovative ways of delivering services which cost less. And if you look at this slide, the cost of per transaction face-to-face, significant in the office, is £8.62. That's a transaction. By telephone is £2.83. Online services, a fraction of the cost at £0.155 or 15 pence. That is one of the most powerful reasons for moving all our services towards to, and our ultimate aim is to deliver all of the 800 services online. 100% of all services should be available online people should be able to access those services at the time that is convenient for them. But equally, for us, it delivers a massive saving on our budget. And at a time when resources are scarce, this is a very powerful reason for moving over to digitalization. Well, I've covered broadly comments, touch on this slide. So as I said, we are looking to provide 100% of our services over the next decade, fully digital. And I think the issue there is that it will make the processes so smooth and so efficient in terms of having an integrated service and avoid the cost, as I mentioned previously, for face-to-face, telephone, and so on. And that resources can be actually invested elsewhere to provide better services for the resident and businesses. It will definitely make revenue collection much better and easier. As I've indicated in my previous slide, that the collection rate for business rate in Oldham is 98%. Here at Sylhet City Corporation, 42%. And if Sylhet City Corporation was able to collect higher rate of business and holding tax, then those money could be invested in local services and actually improve the local. It will also, in my view, improve the take-up of services. Because for accessing online services, you don't need to go to the office during a set time. You can do it anytime that suits you. You can do it from any location. I also think that it will help to better engagement with residents. So you'll be able to find out the services they like, the services they want, feedback from the services that you provide. And finally, I think it will deliver improved governance and accountability, because people elect there and they should know how the authority is run, and they should also have the opportunity to ask questions and seek accountability about how resources are spent in their areas, especially local taxation, which we pay for. So moving on to then the challenges. In my view, what I've seen in this study is that there are two main factors facing Sylhet City Corporation. Firstly, there's the lack of capacity and skill in the ICT department. As I mentioned previously, currently infrastructure and support services provided through an external consultant. This is not a good use, because you need to grow your own talent and your staff to make you're able to have a permanent vision and permanent skill base to move forward with your way of delivering an innovative, integrated, up-to-date, fit-for-purpose IT service. And as you will hear throughout this conference, IT is the future, digitalization is the future, online service is the future. The other issue that we've got is the provision of fast, affordable internet connection. Whilst all these things I've said works in I think for it to work in Sylhet and in other main city areas, you need a powerful, fast internet access. So I know there's a lot of development work that's going on in Bangladesh, and that is highly commendable. But if the government could work together with the city corporation and provide free, fast internet connection services to its areas, then you will be able to provide services that are offered by city corporation much more easily, much more cost effectively, but actually you'll be able to offer other services like education, healthcare, targetedly is one. And then the other bits, so technical side is one aspect of the problem that we got. The other is the actual human behavior in terms of changing the user behavior. So I know something like 60% of the people in Select have a smartphone and they are very good at using it. But 40% don't, and 40% don't have an understanding of how to use online services. So there is a challenge to provide training. There is a challenge for education on e-literacy. And I'm absolutely confident that with the right level of planning and the right level of support, this can be delivered. And this can be delivered effectively. So it needs to have a program which delivers training to key group of people, and that needs to be rolled out throughout all of the area. If I can then just move over to conclusion, because I'm told I'm near the end of my time limit here. So what I want to say is that whilst there are significant differences in terms of the profile of the two areas, level of digitalization and opportunities, the comparisons are useful lessons as the areas look for to develop the future. City cooperation, however, needs to tackle the barriers that I have outlined in this presentation. This is mainly in areas technical limitations and changing behaviors. I have listed some suggestions here which they need to undertake, in my view, help to deliver the changes that they want, which will hopefully make it a much more efficient and user-friendly operation and help it to generate much needed local revenues to provide important services. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. And before I invite people to ask questions, can I just say that I'm happy to change any practices, policies that we have in the UK. I'm also happy to receive delegation, not just from SILET, but any part of Bangladesh, to come and look at how local government operates in the UK. And once again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak before you.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. I think very important and informative stuff. Very interesting for questions and comments.
Thank you, Mr. Gabbar. Nice presentation and very comprehensive indeed. I have a question. The leader council, did you face any question from environmental group for digitalization? Digitalization is a time perspective, it's the time of digital world. Do you find any complaint from environmentalists regarding the health issues or environmental issues due to digitalization? As you are a leader, do you have any complaint from the community?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Actually, what I didn't say, I'm responsible for 3 areas in my council. One is finance, the other one is human resources, and the third one is climate change. So I got to think I have a grasp of climate change, and I hope I can give you an answer. So digitalization actually can enhance tackling climate change, because you can access the service from your home. You don't need to visit the office or data or anything. So we're actually saving the cost of traveling, but also not polluting the air because you're not traveling from one distance from A to B. The second thing is digitalization also helps because actually you could do paperless. The whole process, or vast majority of the administration, can be paperless. So in my council, when people are making an application for school places, they sit in their home, they just tap into their account and log the detail online. So they're not filling a form they're not traveling to the offices. And then the third thing is right. Digitalization can actually deliver videos, information videos, education videos about environment, about climate change, and how people should change their behavior. So digitalization is actually educate people in climate change and how they can contribute to better manage the environment in their locality. So digitalization is not just an answer for administration, but it also will help to support tackling climate change. I hope that answers your question.
We should have more questions on the station. It's a very relevant for us, right?
Thank you very much for your nice presentation. This is Mikhail from Ministry of Labor and Employment. I went through your presentation and one interesting thing came in my mind regarding the employment. See, when digitalization came in, there are so many jobs, people losing their jobs because we require less number of people to deliver this service. And as a populated country like Bangladesh, sometimes the digitalization, artificial intelligence and robotics will reduce the number of jobs. So how do you see, what is your opinion in this regard to do the digitalization in any service delivery to a country like Bangladesh? Thank you very much.
So that's a brilliant question. Thank you for that. I think you're absolutely right. Digitalization in my city council has reduced jobs. There's no doubt about it. Not one job, hundreds of jobs. And that's one of the powerful reasons why we do it, because labor cost in the UK is so much higher than it is in Bangladesh. So labor cost is lower in Bangladesh, and therefore is this a justification for continuing with the manual model? Absolutely not. And you should digitalize fully because of the benefits that I talked about here. So what do we do with the people who are unemployed? Look, your council can invest in providing other services. They can invest in education, they can invest in healthcare, they can invest in looking after people, they can invest in improving the roads, the environment and so on. So, artificial intelligence is going to be a very powerful thing. It is already happening all over the world. And if you don't digitalize, you'll be left behind. And from this morning session, I was so impressed by listening to the minister and listening to the senior secretary about your plans to take Bangladesh forward and the achievement that you made. So this is important in order for you to continue to grow and continue to develop Bangladesh, because otherwise you'll be left behind. So the issue about employment, look, it is a serious one, and we need to find a different way of paying people and making sure that they are working a smaller hour than currently. So in my own country, my party is proposing, I belong to the Labour Party in this election, that if we win the election on the 12th of December this year, we will bring the working week from 5 days to 4 days. But we will find alternative way of people working, and we will find a way of making sure that they are paid correctly. We don't all need to work 7 days a week. There should be opportunity for people to enjoy life as well. And if you work at it seriously, you can find a way of doing it. So I do understand your concern, but trust me, this is not the reason for not doing it, because every other nation, even in your country, a public sector organization will fully move towards digitalization because of the benefit of it and the cost effectiveness of digitalization. I hope that's answered your question.
I'd like to comment over your slide. Please go back to the slide. The IT requisition comparison to Bangladesh SCC, Cigarette Corporation and OBAC, you showed only water payment can be done through the City Corporation. Yeah. But I would like to add over this slide, there are a lot of changes done. In the meantime, maybe you slide down, I don't know whenever you done this, the gas bill, educational fees, and a lot of the pieces can be done through the IT utilization in the SCC.
because these are the pride of our government. Okay, so in these cases, we are the advanced one step ahead in Bangladesh compared to the OMBC. So I would like to request you to add some advances in our Bangladesh. And another recommendation conclusion you told that technological limitation and changing user behavior. I would like to add the 3 point is the integrity in services, because without integrity in services, nobody or no nation can develop in future. Thank you.
Okay, so let me deal with the e-services first. Look, e-service is really important, and it needs to be rolled out, not just in Sirak, but throughout the whole of the country. And I think when the secretary was talking, the senior secretary was talking, he was talking about that as well as this. So that's a much bigger thing. My study was focused on looking at the services in Sirak and what was happening there. And in relation to your comment about this, so you can make payments through using mobile, yeah, and you have to pay the full amount. What I'm talking about in UK is a different system altogether. It's much more integrated. You can pay part of the bill. So if your bill is 10,000 taka, you can pay 1,000 one month. Next month you can pay another 1,000. And you can space the payment of 10,000 over a 10-month period. That kind of facility is not in Select. That kind of facility exists in the UK. And that's why you see people are able to manage their finances better and pay more of their taxes. So that's what I'm talking about. They need to have an integrated payment system that enables them to pay the bills or the taxation when they're able to. It's still majority of the payments for Select Corporation, you have to go to the bank and make payments. That's true, because I checked it with the people there. I'm not criticizing them, I'm just saying how practical it is. They have an aspiration to launch and improve this particular situation. So they're launching a new app, I think this month, which will enable the trade license fee to be paid. But again, you see, the issue is that you have whatever the full amount of the trade license fee, you have to pay all that at one time. Whereas in the UK, you can phase your payment, and that helps the payer. Because if you're rich, you can pay all of it. But if you're not everybody's rich. They need a payment method option that enables them to pay part payments, and then at the end of the year, they can pay the remaining total. So that's what I was saying. I have a very good relationship with Celestic Corporation. I was born there. I left for UK some 40 years back, and I want to help them to transform to a better city corporation using digital technology. So it isn't, I'm not here to criticize them, I'm here just explaining the current facts that exist there and the limitations they have.
Many hands, sorry.
Okay.
I'm Kali Jahangir Alam. I am Division Chief Planning Division. So we have heard that about 800 services you are digitized already. But my question is that some services like health, education, security, direct securities, there are something to consider face-to-face issues. Because you have mentioned that in case of the face-to-face services, you have to pay 8.62 pounds. But in another case, 2.63 or something like that. And in the website, it is only 0.15 or something. But my question is that, how you would deal or how you think about the services of health and as well as education, securities, maybe some other services you need. It will be fitting with the digitization. Because in case of education, what I feel, there are some gaps, maybe, between the education providing face-to-face and education providing through web or through telephone or something other modes. So, have you any studies what actually would be the gap in case of the providing education through digitization system or through face-to-face system? if you want to minimize the cost of education providing and want to reduce the cost, what will be the impact on the education in our program? Similarly, in case of the health, if you think to make it digitization ways, so maybe sometimes we hear that in developed countries, if we go to the website or we put our complaints to the doctors, they give us the prescriptions online, and we may take that prescription. But there may be some gaps in case of providing my issues and in case of my providing the prescriptions from the doctors. So that types of studies, how much the gap is there, and is it affordable or not? Okay, this type of study
I think
has
question
been
is clear.
Okay, thank you. I think perhaps I should spend a bit more time explaining the role that we have in health and education. So our role is purely administrative. We don't actually deliver health services or deliver our schools deliver education. So what I'm talking about is when somebody applies for a child to go to school, so that's the administration time. They don't need to come to our offices. They can fill in an online application form, and we will decide as a local authority which school their child goes to. So I'm talking about that element. Not actually the classroom teaching. I'm not talking about that. That is done by the schools themselves. Okay? And in respect of the healthcare, again, we only deal with the administrative side. We don't provide the GP service, the hospital service, and or anything like that. That's done by the National Health Service. That's completely separate. I can talk to you about that, but I would require much more time. But can I just say that even then, the issue here is about promoting services that will impact people in terms of health and education. So we do lots of promotional videos around how to teach children read and write, how to teach people mathematics. We do lots of promotional stuff around, say for example, diabetes. Diabetes among British Bangladeshis living in the UK is very high. So we do promotional work on that, telling them what kind of things they should do. So control their diet, do more exercises, take their medication regularly, manage their diabetes. Those kinds of things that we do, and it can be done online. But actual contact with the patient and doctor, that is face to face, that's different. And I'm sorry if I didn't make that very clear in the presentation. We're only responsible for the administration side of it. Is that okay?
Time mark. I can take just one question.
Okay. Thank you for your
Very specific
Yeah.
questions, please.
thank you for your information and presentation. So there we saw the difference between two council administration. But the problem you find out, like system, IT and financial payment, those facility or those scope are already available in Bangladesh nowadays, like mobile payment, online fill up and other things. But what is the main reason not to co-op or not to adopt those facilities to this city corporation in Bangladesh, like Sylhet or any other city corporation? Because those facilities or services are already available in the market or in our national. So what is the main core reason?
Okay.
What you say?
Okay. Well, that's a brilliant question, and I was hoping somebody would ask me that. So, look, in the UK, in my city, Oldham, 68% of the residents, they pay their council tax by direct debit. So from their account, each month they will say, on the 10th of each month, take £100 out of my account and pay to Oldham Council. That's it. They set it once and it's done forever, unless they change it. Okay? You don't have this system here in Bangladesh. You still have to go to your mobile, to use Bcash or any Google Pay to make the payments. That's a significant difference. Nearly 70% of people, they just say to their bank, manage my account, make a payment on this day. That's not here. The brother who was making the presentation on financial exclusion, his study is touched on some of this, but that's a fundamental change. The other thing is, you know, mobile smartphone that I have, I can use my money in my account to make payments anytime to anyone in matter of seconds. And that's not still in Bangladesh, although people are trying desperately. So although on the face of it, you know, the online services and electronic payments, they're very similar, both UK and in Bangladesh. In reality, in practice, there is still a massive gap, and those gap needs to be addressed if you are going to be much more efficient and much more, how can I say, make the services much more accessible to people. And that's the key thing. So you can say, oh yes, you got app, you got website, but what sits behind it is not same as what we got in the UK. In the UK, we've got a fully integrated process, fully automated. Here, there is still fragmentation in terms of payment. So somebody can log into my website, council website, they can see their council tax, business rate, and anything else. They will have a full profile, and from that they can make a payment using a card. That's it, done, finished. And that kind of facility still hasn't developed in Bangladesh, and that would be the aim. Can you do it? Of course you can do it. It needs a planned structure, it needs a planned approach, and you need the right level of skills to do it. So in my council, as I said, 60 people work on our IT systems. One of the highest paid officer heads the IT department. He earns £135,000 per year. That's his job, to make sure the IT is fit for purpose, is running motion. Instead, there isn't a single person in the office. It's provided by a consultant. So this is a big gap, and that needs to be addressed.
Thank you. Mr. Jibro, I have just one comment and two questions.
Yeah, of course.
Answer maybe yes or no, you can
Absolutely.
One is, do you have a further scope to study one day with another city corporation like that? Because we did with the Senate. So the government has a different initiatives in many city corporations. Do you have that scope? Yes or not? One.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course. Okay. So then the government can help you,
Yes.
and EDY, the government project, can help you to give you more scope to get the different perspective. One. Okay, so we'll talk like that.
Yes.
Two, British cabinet organization BIT, Behavioral Insights Team, is working with now government, especially on the capacity issue and behavioral changes, right? So do you have that any scope to make your city corporation and Bangladesh make a partnership?
Of course.
Right?
Of course. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
Bangladesh, I've got Bangladesh blood. I've got Bangladeshi skin color.
Yeah.
I eat rice and fish. So I'm Bangladeshi, although I'm speaking English, because I left Silat at a much younger age. But honestly, I care passionately about Bangladesh. I want Bangladesh to develop in the way that was explained in the morning session, and I want to help if I can in any way. And I'm more than happy to host anyone who wants to visit UK.
Sure. So we'll talk later.
Absolutely.
During lunch, right? Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much for a nice presentation. Actually, this paper is very much interesting, and I had an opportunity to review this paper. That's why I have some observation, not questions, some observation regarding your paper. So I think some sentences or some catchy words touch my interest in your paper, that you have given a comparative analysis of Sylhet City Corporation and Oldham City Council about the public service delivery. So in your presentation or in your paper, you have shown the comparative analysis, like budget, like the services provided. But in your discussion, you have pointed some specific suggestions how the services can be implemented by the Sylhet City Corporation. But in your paper, it is not elaborated. So it is our expectation, or it is needed for the country, that some specific suggestions how the Oldham City Council is managing the services, so that Sylhet City Corporation can incorporate the service so that they can deliver the service. Because you all know that all of our citizens have not access to the internet, and our IT infrastructure is not that much strong as the UK. So, taking this limitation, how we can implement the services, the public service delivery in the Sylhet City Corporation, I think this should come in your final paper. So
Okay.
this is my observation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, with such a glittering and outstanding performance. Dear audience, tonight we have the glorious opportunity to mix and mingle with all of you over dinner and entertainment. All of you are invited to enjoy the program. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for prayer and lunch. We have a mosque at NEPD cafeteria, third floor, for both male and female. And all of you are invited and requested to attend in a lunch at NEPD cafeteria. After that, may I request all of you to return at 2:30 for the presentation. With the kind consent of the chair, I'd like to make the session over. Thank you very much.